Okay, so we have done 6 verses. Now we'll do the 7th one. So in the 7th verse, or actually the 7th, 8th and 9th, these 3 verses, we basically try to find out what happens when one seeker rescues the lower self. That means what happens when you win the lower self by the higher self. So we'll see. So I will sing the verse, and it's relatively easy, so we will chant the verse. जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः. So let us sing it. जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः शीतोष्ण सुखदुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः. Okay. So it is telling us about how a tranquil person is. So the translation is, when one has conquered the lower self and is tranquil in his supreme self. So in our commentary it is, when one has conquered one's lower self and has attained to the calm of self-mastery, his supreme self becomes steady. He is at peace in cold and heat, in pleasure and pain, in honor and dishonor. Now I would suggest that abides ever concentrate, no? Instead of that, just cut it and say becomes steady. That abides ever concentrate, it's a little confusing. So cut that abides ever concentrate, and instead of that say becomes steady. So what is it saying? The one who has conquered the lower self and is tranquil, his supreme self becomes steady. Whether he encounters cold or heat, or pleasure or pain, or praise or blame. Won't you like to be in such a state where pleasure, pain, praise, blame doesn't touch you? Now many times people say, no, then what's the joy of life? I know it's a question in many people's mind. Oh, but if there is no blame and there is no praise, there is no pleasure, there is no pain, then what's the use? No, it's not that. Please understand, everything is a reaction. We live a life out of reaction. Means what? What we call as emotion is basically our reaction to a certain stimulus. Yes or no? Think about it. You not liking something, you liking something, you getting excited about something, you having displeasure about something, is all your reaction. Your stress is nothing but a reaction. That's why two people will react differently to the same stress, because both these people will react in their own way. If a dog were to come here, some people will be a little alert, some people will go towards the dog, some people will just be sitting. The dog is one object, but our way of reaction to the dog is different. Same way, the stimulus from the external world is the same. Stimulus is stimulant. How we react is our response to the world. So what this verse is trying to tell us is once we win over our limiting tendencies, number one, there are 2 points there. Look, when one conquers oneself and attains to calm of self-mastery. So underline that. Attains to calm of self-mastery. This is very important. Not just conquer. Why have they said attain to calm? Because realization or self-mastery, I like this word, self-mastery. It takes away the whole spiritual cloud. Self-mastery sounds like a psychological term, no? Psychology or coaching term. Self-mastery. So, it is not just self-mastery, it is the calm, tranquility of self-mastery. Why? Purposely this variable has been added. Because tomorrow you say, oh, I am a self-master. Should not be pride of self-mastery. It is contentment, tranquility of self-mastery. So when you win over your limiting tendencies, it is natural that you become quiet and content. If you are winning over limiting tendencies is making you proud, then you have to win over your pride also. Then maybe you have scaled 99%, last 1% is remaining. There are so many stories in Indian mythology where these spiritual masters and sages are full of their pride. And then Vishnu or Shiva or Hanuman or someone will come and burst their pride. So this is a story. So that's why the important term there is self-mastery, but the tranquility of self-mastery. This also means the end goal is what? Being tranquil. Tranquil, prashant. Actually, it's a beautiful word. Prashant means tranquil. Now again, you see the beauty of language, and those who appreciate language and its formation. Now they have not just left it at tranquility. They have said, when out of tranquility his mind becomes steady. So just to accentuate the point, they said, once the seeker has won over the limiting tendencies and is tranquil by making the mind steady, what happens to such a person? The person does not shake under cold like us. No, it's not that. That means what? Doesn't mean that they don't use down jacket or sweater anymore. No. This is just a figurative expression of duality. Heat, cold, pleasure, pain, praise, blame. It's not only 6 points. This is how poetically Krishna is trying to tell us that such a man who is in steady wisdom will never crack under pressure of opposites. Our problem is we are happy when all our expectations are met. We are sad when our expectations are not met. Look at relationships. That's why relationships break. And before the relationship is made steady between two partners, everybody is playing a game, trying to show their best feathers, no? Like Animal Planet documentary. The bird will show its best feathers to attract the mate. Same, we humans are also animals. So the man will go in the best car, he'll borrow the car and he'll go. Best dress, all this. Trying to impress. Once the expectation is met, once the partners are together, then the reality dawns. Any relationship is like this. Any relationship. We should not crack under opposites. Under the pressure of opposites. Not just opposites. Under the pressure of opposites. Remember, I told you yesterday also, that the nature of this world that we live in is duality. The nature of our material world that we see is duality. Now, material doesn't mean window and door, sunlight and moonlight. No. Material also means in the thought. According to yoga physiology, even the thoughts are a material, matter, prakriti. Those who have studied Sankhya. So, is there a duality in our thoughts? Of course. Is there a duality in outside? Of course. Why? Because we manifest the outside. Because of the duality in our mind, in our thought construct, we see duality outside. Like right now, we are conditioned to that. Vanessa comes, so where are you from originally? She say, I live in Norway. Oh, so you're Norwegian? I'm from Mexico. Oh, you're Mexican? Oh, but you are Mexican living in Norway? Oh, so confused. So 10-15 minutes goes in analyzing if Vanessa is Norwegian or Mexican or we are it is our conditionality. We forget that she is just forget human. Now that she is here, that she is just a seeker like us. So how does it matter Mexican, Norwegian, and then you're confused. Oh, so you're not originally from Norway? And 15 minutes went in that. Our education system, our conditioning has created a mind that only divides. That's why it is very difficult for us to unite. Worst is when you sit next to somebody on a flight. They want to know your whole resume. What do you do? How many children? Where are you going? Why? Business? What will you do with this information? How is knowing if Vanessa is Mexican or Norwegian, sorry Vanessa, taking your example, contributing to my life? Like immediately. Vanessa, my house is on fire. Please tell me if you're Mexican or Norwegian. I'm just pointing out our day-to-day example. How much time we waste in gathering unneeded information. And remember, it is food for thought. Every small information that you feed in, the mind is going to retain, like a Velcro, like I told you. So a man, a seeker who has reached that tranquil state of higher self, by stabilizing the mind, will not crack under pressure. Physically also and mentally, emotionally also. Physically how? Reacting. Oh, I expected it to be sunny. Now look, such a bad weather. Now it's all going to be like that for next 4 days. I wish I could have gone out for a nice long walk. But now I have to stay in this room. Going on. The record is playing. I wish it was sunny, we could have gone out. Oh, he's given us meditation, we can't even go. Oh no. 10 minutes will just go in that, and then mind will blame. Immediately you will slip in tamas. Laziness, want to just stay in my bed and want to sleep. If sleep doesn't come, just look at the ceiling, wonder about life. Oh, is it raining? Okay. Now what do I do? Oh, sunny? Let's get up. Now this opposite. That's why yogi is always alert. Alert, remember this. Alert like a guard dog. Have you seen guard dogs? There are dogs and then there are guard dogs, like sheep dogs, They stand like this and one leg will be like this. Alert. Whoever comes. Whoever. And that may be a human or that may be some spider on the wall. The guard dog knows. It's ingrained in his DNA to guard. And sometimes you have guard dogs, they'll be just creating so much ruckus, shouting, barking, and then you go and you find out there's a small mouse outside your house. Small mouse. No big threat, but he's doing his duty. Guard dog. Alert. Yogi has to be alert everywhere. You know why? Because our limited mind is ever alert. We are not alert, our limited mind is so alert, it slips in. It slips in. It finds those nooks and crannies and just gets in. And that's why this is a very beautiful verse. Try as much as possible to not create a big scene, drama out of the opposites in your life. This is your assignment. Don't create a drama because mind is looking for creation of drama. If there's little something happening, so cold. Oof, my God, I only got one sweater. Oh, do I have a blanket? Mind is looking for this drama. And then every successive thought, you convince yourself to become cooler, colder. So actually, it's just 8 degrees, but you are making it, your mind has made already minus 20 out of it. No, this is how it works, really. Really, this is how it works. So, in opposites in life, don't exaggerate. Be so alert that you say, now mind is going to play with me because this opposite thing is happening. Okay. So mind will try to exaggerate, you downplay. Exaggerate, downplay. Exaggerate, downplay. Don't create unnecessary drama. Now this verse is about what happens in self-mastery. So in self-mastery, the man or woman doesn't have to leverage such techniques. We have to. Okay, so it's like an ideal. What happens in ideal scenario? This is ideal scenario. So nothing, just for us as motivation, nothing for us to practice here. Verse number 8. So how does the sage, such a person who has conquered his limited self, view the world? So that's the next question. Okay, so what is his perspective of the world? So then the next verse is Jnana Vijnana Truptatma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi Samalloshtasma Kanchanaha. Okay, let's sing it. Some good tongue twister. Jnana Vijnana Truptatma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi Sama Loshta Shmakanchanaha. Okay, see, Sanskrit language is like German. 4, 5 words in one line. That's why if you see below, he has cut every word and separated it. But if I read the cut verse, then I will not be able to sing it in tune. It's like this. So somewhere you will see that what we are saying is a little different. No? Because he is sliced up. Like if you see one word, it will have 3 words that have gone into making of that word. Very, very similar to some languages. Okay, now I love this verse because of one word which I will tell you. So what is the meaning of this word? How does this person who has conquered his lower tendencies view the world? So, the yogi is said to be yukta or integrated in yoga when he is concentrating on the supreme above the changes of the world. Such a yogi is satisfied with knowledge and experience of the reality behind the appearances. He is unperturbed by things and happenings of the world and is therefore said to be equal-minded to the events of this changing world. Okay, I will give you simpler translation. If you want, write it, because this is important verse. The yogi is said to be established in yoga whose self is content. This is the word that I told you I was looking for. Content. Is content with knowledge and experience of the now stop here, because there is one word which is English, which is a little complex, but it just gives the meaning. Immutable. Have you heard of this word? Immutable. Of the immutable means what? Unchanging. Immutable. Is content with knowledge and experience of immutable, having reached there by conquering his senses, he looks with equal vision towards clay, C-L-A-Y, clay, stone and gold. Again, clay, stone and gold means not he looks with equal vision only at these 3, not others, not like this. It's just indicative. So now let's see what it is saying. The yogi is said to be integrated in yoga. Integrated in yoga means, remember we always say, no, yoga is union. This union. Who is united with what? With his bank? No, united with the true self. Who is such a yogi? Who is content with knowledge and experience? Number 1. So underline the term content, because it is specifically mentioned. Trupta, that's the word, is given. Trupta. Trupta, contentment. Again, I told you here, contentment is something that we have to work upon. Now contentment out of what? Both knowledge and experience, not just knowledge and not just experience, both philosophy and practice. Now having become content, what has he become? He has become immutable. Immutable means unshakable, unmovable, immutable. Like an immutable mountain, winds, all water, rain, storms, it bears everything, it doesn't move like that. Unshakable. Whatever life gives most difficult challenges, that yogi will not bog down. So, the immutable yogi has conquered his senses, and what has happened because of that? He looks at clay, gold and stone with the same vision. So all opposites he will look with the same way. So he will not say somebody is Hungarian and somebody is Norwegian. No. For them it doesn't matter. Even if they know, they will not make a big scene out of it. Like our whole conditionings that we have. Oh, you're a yogi? Or you eat non-veg? Oh, you're a yogi? You're not vegan? Immediately. They will not. You tell them I'm a yogi, they'll be okay. I'm a vegan, they'll be okay. It's very, very superficial. These are very superficial matters. Very superficial matter. So, the beauty of this verse is in one word, contentment. In Bible, in Philippians, there is a chapter in Bible, book in Bible called Philippians, where Paul goes to Philippi and speaks to the Philippians, and they give him gifts and they welcome him. Chapter 4. And a beautiful verse in Philippians chapter 4 is that Paul receives the gifts from all the Philippian people, but he says, thank you for the gifts, but I am ever content because I live in the word of Christ. He doesn't say, why are you giving me gifts? You don't know who I am. No. He says, thank you for the gifts, but he says, the gifts are not really making me happy because I am ever content in the word of my Lord. So examples of contentment are everywhere. So, some other examples of Bible if you want, from Psalm, Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm number 14, 17.